Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Hillside Garden. And today I'm just going to give you an indoor house plant kind of tour, show you what I have started so far as my spring planting goes, and just kind of what's going on right now. Luckily, the last couple weeks have been super cold after a very warm December and early January, so I had to keep fighting the urge to keep planting things because I do this every year and end up with just so many plants that are so big in like March and early April that cannot go outside. I've literally run out of space. So this, what you see in front of you, is just a small taste of what I have going on, but it's about a third of what it was last year, which I learned my lesson. It's been really hard. You have no idea how hard it is to try to resist planting things. Maybe you do. I don't know. It's something you got to fight, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, let me show you what I have growing on the plant table here. On my nice sunny south-facing window, which gives perfect sunlight. Makes these plants, gives them plenty of light in the wintertime, the best you can get, at least anyways. So without further ado, stop rambling and I'll take you for the tour. So I mentioned that we had a couple warm days in December, and this is just oregano. Um, Put some cuttings in there and it rooted. It's doing fine. Actually, I think I'm going to need to cut this back because it's getting kind of long, and I just need to make it more a little stockier, a little bushier, and probably get out of this little container, maybe get something a little bigger going on for it. But it's doing okay. If you see right through here, if you notice these leaves, get this aloe out of the way. There we go. Those are just some acacia seeds a friend of mine gave me. They're growing, and from a very young age, they have very sharp, vicious little spikes on them. I don't know if you can pick this up right there. Yeah, little spikes on those things, and they are extremely sharp. So they come out of the ground fighting. So don't mess with those guys. I will not tell you about these yet. I'm going to bring you back to that. Of course, everybody has an aloe plant. Know someone who does, I guess. It's pretty common. This is a Norway pine, Norway spruce. It's supposed to be a miniature tree, only gets 6 to 10 feet tall. And I actually received this as a Christmas gift from the Arbor Day Foundation, where I donated like $5 or something. And you got a free tree if you did so. So there you go. I got a Christmas card and a free tree out of the deal. Well, you know what I mean. It wasn't free, but whatever. This is my lavender. If you saw probably about a month ago, I showed a video where I put these cuttings in water trying to get them to root, and then all of a sudden they all started blooming. There were no roots, but the plants just all bloomed. And then after they bloomed, those are the ones who started growing roots. I had several cuttings that did not bloom, and the ones that did not bloom did not produce roots and just dried up and died. So I have absolutely no idea what that means, or if anyone knows, way smarter than I am, why that happened. I don't know, but it's what happened. I can't make it up. So anyways, out of the way, my little pine tree here I saved. It's kind of overwintered. It's a long story, but that's a really cool little rescue plant I had there. So anyhow, these are some Christmas cactus cuttings I took. Broke some things off, went to my grandmother's house, I think Christmas dinner time frame, and or maybe Thanksgiving, one of the two. And I stuck them in a cup, completely forgot about them. Found them about a month later. They're all shriveled up, and I was like, oh well, what the heck. Just threw them in the little dirt here with this tree, and they sprung back to life. And I've even tried to put on some aerial roots right there, and up there you can kind of see they're dried up, but they were attempted aerial roots. So I think the plant's doing fine. It's rooted well. It'll get divided out eventually, but not right now. These are just some succulents, and I think it's a pencil cactus, I think it's called. Not sure. Just something to keep going. This is just some cilantro I have growing just because I had some extra seeds and wanted to use them, and I was really bored and figured if I grew some cilantro, I'd probably use it. And if it died, I wouldn't be heartbroken because I'm not the biggest fan of cilantro, but it's what it is. It's growing something green, keeps me busy, keeps me from going overboard and, losing my sanity and planting 200 pepper plants again. So, you gotta take, you just gotta, fill up the day somehow, I suppose. Right here is celery. If you've never grown celery, it's very difficult to get started. And once it does, it grows very slowly. But in here, there's 4 or 5 plants that are, well, too many in this little cup. But I will divide those up sooner rather than later, actually. But I think this is the, tender crisp. I just put tender, but tender crisp celery. Moving back over here, I forgot to tell you about this one. This is my magnolia tree I grew from seed. 2 of them I planted outdoors, and they're doing just fine. They're still alive. Obviously, they're dormant. And this guy, even though it has been inside all winter time, It has been dormant. I kept it watered. I probably don't need to water too much, but the terminal bud right here, if you can see that, is healthy and it's doing just fine. And whenever it decides, it's going to break dormancy and start producing more growth. And right here, this is lavender. This is the true lavender. Um, you had to cold stratify these for at least a month, and they'll start sprouting up like that. But if you don't cold stratify your lavender seeds, I have found, lavender has a very bad reputation for not being very easy to start from seed. I think that's the reason why, because most people don't realize that if you don't cold stratify your lavender seeds, you may get one or two to grow, and some may take months and months to grow until they experience some kind of trigger or some cold snap or something. So that's just my amateur 2 cents of the deal. All right, this is one of my pepper plants, the hillside surprise pepper I mentioned. And here's another one. Now check this out right here. On this pepper plant, it's kicked out this little tiny weird side shoot looking like it was trying to form a leaf, but it didn't. And then it just kind of, nothing ever really came of it. But I've never had a plant do that before. At least I've never paid attention enough, or it caught my attention, I guess I should say. So if you've ever had pepper plants that kick off these little weird little thing right here, it's kind of weird. Anyhow, moving along here, some more rosemary cuttings. I have a couple little cuttings of thyme in there. I think one of them may have rooted. I'm not sure. I think I forgot to water this one as well. So it's survival of the fittest, I suppose. But what I want to get here on these right here, see there's 3 of them here, and I think I have 2 or 3 more on the other window I'm going to show you here in a second. These are Joshua trees, right? So if you've ever seen pictures of like Arizona, Nevada, Southern California, and these are iconic Joshua trees that grow out there. Excuse me. So anyways, I decided I was going to try to grow some of these from seed. So I ordered some up. I think I got 6 or 7 seeds, and I think only one of them did not germinate. Sorry about that. I couldn't stop coughing. I had something in my throat. Anyhow, so out of the 6 or 7 seeds, only one did not germinate. These things stayed outside all summer long in containers, etc. And I divided them up this winter in individual cups. The roots are doing great. Obviously, in my climate, I cannot keep these outside. But this is a pretty awesome, interesting houseplant because I was reading some studies that their Joshua trees are endangered or they're struggling to survive because of drought and things like this. So I figured, I'll just try to grow a couple. I understand it's not going to go outside and I'm not going to save the Joshua tree or anything like this, but it's kind of cool to say I'm growing one. So actually I'm growing 5. I think I just counted 2 more over there. So there was 5. I'll be giving some of these away because obviously I don't need 5 of these Joshua trees. But down here, kind of cool, I noticed the other day, a little side pup or whatever you might want to call it, right down here is kind of coming off. So that is definitely cool. Definitely cool. Very unusual house plant, to say the least. So yeah, if you ever grow a Joshua tree indoors, don't let anybody tell you can't do it. I mean, it's not going to live forever in your house in a little cup. And it's never going to become some giant, established plant. But it makes for a nice, interesting talking piece and house plant. So let me show you what's going on in the other window on this tour. All right, guys, I'll make this kind of quick because these are some repeats. These are some more of the hillside surprise peppers. Doing fine. Joshua tree number 4, Joshua tree number 5. These right here are just starting to sprout. These are the Chinese pink celery. So I was going to grow these pink celery along with my traditional tender crisp, green supermarket type celery we're all used to see if there's any kind of difference. Maybe it's just the coloration's different, or maybe the flavor's different. Maybe the plant looks different. I don't know. Let's do a side-by-side comparison, but still too early to put those outside. But the last thing I want to show you right here, these are lychee tomatoes. So these are said to have a kind of taste between a tomato and a cherry. This plant will get huge and has covered in spikes. And I have watched some people review it, and they said that some people think that it's delicious, and it has that cherry-like cross. And there's a better look at the leaves on it. They look similar to tomato leaves, but not exactly the same, but it's part of the same Solanaceae family. So they're all related in some way or other. Yep. So anyways, 4 of these here, As far as I can tell, so far they grow just like a regular tomato would. Nothing too special other than the leaves are a little bit different. There's no spikes emerging right away, so maybe it takes a while for it to become established before it will start doing that. But I will definitely keep everybody up to date on that. So this is going to conclude just my little living room plants, windows kind of thing, what I have going on right now. I just wanted to show you what I have now because in the next couple days, maybe a week if I can hold myself back, because it's getting to be that time that it's time to start planting pepper seeds. And this year I'm going to go pretty big because, like I said in my other videos, I do have an opportunity, although it's small, but hopefully it does grow, to start producing some peppers on a commercial scale for some local businesses and restaurants and companies, et cetera, who want to use them in pepper blends and things like that for spices. So this year I'm going to go a little bit bigger, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. If you ever thought about going from just a small time backyard producer of your own fruit to vegetables, taking that next step to making yourself a small time commercial kind of grower, or if you're going to try to start selling stuff at a farmer's market and you don't know where to start, I'm learning from scratch. Last year was my first little attempt, and I'd say it was successful for what it was. But this year, hopefully there'll be a lot more successes to come. But if you look outside, that's where my peppers were last year. It's got the nice mulch layer, if you can really pick that up down there through the screen. But that's where all my peppers were last year, and I just can't wait to get out there and start getting that soil ready and getting ready for the next season. But yeah, last thing I'll say before I wrap it up here, guys, I know I'm going on and on and on, but you notice my beds, you can't see the soil because you're not supposed to. All right, make sure you mulch your beds in the fall. Whatever plant you're growing, whether it be, flower beds or anything like that, mulch it. That's what's going to break down, add organic matter to your soil. Okay, guys? So, and when the spring comes, some people I've seen, they'll mulch it, they'll do faithfully mulch it and put some, grass clippings and leaves and all the manure or hay or straw, whatever it is they're putting on their gardens in the fall. But then as soon as springtime comes around, they just rake it off and throw it away or add it to like the corner of their yard or something. I'm like, well, yeah, you halfway did it, but you need to let it continue breaking down. Trust me. Some people may argue that it slows the soil to warm up in the spring, which is a little bit truth to that, which I can't, deny that. But, if you really want to or have problems with the soil warming up, leave your mulch on the ground and then cover it with the black plastic or the landscaping fabric or whatever it is. And that way it'll help warm the soil up. You can make your X's or whatever into that and plant your vegetables and flowers and stuff, into the plastic or the landscaping fabric or whatever it is you use that helps you out. There are ways to get around it, but please, 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 once you mulch your stuff, leave it down. That's what it's there for. The microorganisms, the worms, they're going to love it. And as spring heats up, trust me, right now it's just kind of sitting there because it's wintertime. As soon as spring starts heating up and the microorganisms start getting going, it's going to eat it all, okay? And by the time summer comes around, you're going to say, man, I used to have mulch on this bed, but now it's all gone. And you're going to have to go add more. So trust me, just got to take that leap of faith, leave your mulch on your beds. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to stop rambling and talking and all that kind of stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed this tour. If you saw something interesting, leave a comment. Hope you subscribe and follow along. But like I said, upcoming videos are going to involve mass planting of peppers. I'll show you how I'm doing that, how I set my grow lights up and all. And hope you follow along, and we'll see you then. All right, guys, this is Hillside Gardener signing off. And until next time, go plant something. That's my advice for the day. Just go plant something. Have fun. Watch it grow. Bye-bye.